All right. So last week I did a new thing with WandaVision. I think I really liked it, but I have to update it because last week I had a one video where I talked about the first half of my theories coming into the new episode of WandaVision, and then after WandaVision, I would come back and I would talk about the theories that survived, that got butchered, or any new theories that I came up with. And while I really loved that, I do think it's very easy for me to just kind of cheat and just say, haha, I knew these theories would be it's just easy for me to cheat basically, and I didn't really want to give myself an out. So this time around, I'm gonna make a video by itself on the theories I have of WandaVision so far from episode 1 to 7 and predict what's gonna happen in episode 8 and 9. Then on tomorrow, once I actually watch episode 8 of WandaVision, I'll come back, I'll make a new video and talk about the episode and talk about what theories survived and what theories were massacred. Should be fun. Alright, so let's get straight to it, right? Theories for episode 8. First off, we can talk about what we had so far. We'll mention very quickly the theories that survived from last week's, and if you want to watch more in depth, go watch last week's video about WandaVision. You get a more in-depth detail what I think about these theories and what I think is going to happen next on, but we'll just recap it really quick. The first theory that I have is that Wanda is subconsciously building the Hex, or she at least did subconsciously build the Hex. It isn't Agatha who helped her, it isn't Mephisto, it isn't anybody else. Wanda did it subconsciously in her grief and what yada yada yada. Now, the second theory I had was that Vision was repaired by Wanda, not recreated. That right now seems to have been shot down pretty firmly. It's not completely out of the water just yet. It's just it's leaning much towards the fact that this is a new Vision that Wanda somehow created out of the old Vision, even though I'd still that's kind of murky water, and I would say that's still her repairing Vision. It doesn't really explain her giving him new life, so I will concede this theory. The third theory that I had, that the engineer wasn't actually going to be special, and it was kind of a mixed bag there. Now, some people do believe that the people that we saw in episode 7 was the engineer. That one woman we were talking about, I think Goodman. I can't remember her name, because honestly, I don't think she was all that important. It was just a plot point to let us know that in SWORD there is a division, and there may be a power struggle in the future, or maybe even in this season, between our. What the fuck was the name? Damn it. Okay, yeah. It's sword related stuff, so I didn't really give a damn, and it's just kind of like, it's the weakest part of WandaVision in my opinion, and it is what it is. I don't think that was the engineer. We didn't meet the engineer. They're just the team that brought the machine to our people. I don't remember any of the name. I remember Darcy's. I remember Darcy's name. I remember the character of Darcy, so that's the only one I remember. Jimmy, I remember Jimmy. All I remember is Photon. But yeah, that's just on the WandaVision side. I actually do think the engineer is going to be important, so we may actually see a big cameo, portraying the engineer who gave Photon her vehicle that ultimately did not work. So it's even more proof that the engineer in this show just isn't all that vital. But it may become vital in some future MCU movie. Who knows? Now, the fourth theory that I had back then was that the entity lurking in the background finally makes an appearance in episode 7, and I was right. It did. Well, maybe. Agatha appeared in episode 7 with a pretty... it's the catchy song of the week, right? It was Agatha all along, that crap. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very catchy tune, but I'm just happy my fucking theory is right. And at the end of the day, really, that's all I care about. It helps float the ego a little bit higher. That's all I'm saying. But then we move on to the fifth theory, and it's still kind of up in the air whether or not this actually happens, and that was a third party used the commercials as a way to subliminally control Wanda. Now, that could still be Agatha, but most likely it's whatever entity resides in the book. Could be, but really, I don't really know anything about the comic book, so we're not going to get into that. Let's move on to the sixth theory that still is kind of up in the air. The SWORD director dude, again, I don't know his name. It's SWORD. Anything related to SWORD is boring. I don't really give a damn. It's just not really what I'm into WandaVision for. I just want to know more about Wanda and Vision. I want to know all that MO. everything related to Sword is just fluff, in my opinion. Well, at least for me right now. Maybe things will get better in episode 8 and 9, but right now, it's just fluff. And this is the most critical point I think what could happen with Sword, and that is what my sixth theory is. The Sword director dude is going to do something really fucking stupid that's going to tip Wanda over the edge, or it's going to do something stupid that makes Wanda do something that makes her appear the villain. I'll get to that a bit more when we start actually theorizing. Now, those are the 6 theories that I had for last week. If you want to know more in detail, go to last week's video about WandaVision, about episode 7, and you will see more in depth what I think about these theories. Again, this is just a quick little recap, because right now we gotta move on to the next theories for what's going to happen in episode 8. I think I said that wrong. Fuck it, whatever. Let's move on. Alrighty, so theories for episode 8. What do we think is going to happen? Well, I think episode 8 is going to confirm that Wanda... That Wanda, if I can type, created the Hex. And Agatha just kind of stumbled upon it. Found it. Stumbled, same difference. Next. Second theory that I still think is alive. Now, the second theory I still think is alive is the commercials. I don't know if we're going to have another commercial for the 8th episode. It kind of seems like we're out of the sitcom world now. It's like it's all hands on deck from here on out. But I think we're going to learn right here with some flashbacks or with some explanations from Agatha what the commercials are for. Because I don't think it's just Wanda subconsciously telling herself stuff. I think it's more like Agatha trying to mess with her, Agatha trying to push her towards something. I think that's what's going to be revealed. Commercials. I think they're going to come up into play this episode. So we're going to find out in this episode once it comes out in a couple of hours. But I'm not going to be awake at midnight. I'm going to have to watch when I get back home from work. So we'll see how this goes. The third theory I have so far, the Sword dude, director, guy... I don't remember his name. I don't care to remember his name. Honestly, again, it's just fluff to me. So if you want to correct me and tell me what his actual name is, go ahead, do. I just don't give a damn. I just don't. He's a filler character, in my opinion. Maybe he's gonna have a bigger role in the MCU, but I'll be surprised if he reprises this role in any other movie. Maybe in a TV show, but I don't think in a movie. Anyways, moving on. There you go. So that's my theory. And you know what? Actually, no. I think that's too vague, because it's without a doubt the Sword dude's going to do something stupid, but what would that stupidity lead to? Let's type that in. We'll do something stupid that riles up Wanda. There you go. That works, right? The Sword dude director guy is going to do something stupid that riles up Wanda. I think that's how you spell riles up. Correct me in the comments below. So he's going to do something that makes Wanda pissed off, that makes Wanda look, we see from the trailers that at some point Wanda and Vision are going to team up to take out whatever it is they need to take out to protect their home, as they said in the clip. We haven't gotten that episode yet. I think it's going to be this episode, only in the 9th episode. This episode, episode 8, could be what people are basically thinking. It's going to be a flashback episode. It's going to be the episode that kind of explains a lot of the mysteries behind the show. And it's going to give us a very clear vision as to what's actually going on. So that on the 9th episode, we know what's at stake. We know what needs to happen so that things can get resolved, or if it's capable of being resolved. Who knows? I still hope, I guess, at this point, that Wanda ends up being as the villain, and I'll explain the air quotations in a moment, but we'll go on to the 4th theory that I have. The kids die. I don't know. Yeah, I just think the kids die. Her kids, at least. Vision dies. Yeah, I think he's gonna be dead. We're not getting Paul Bettany back. I think this is his last hurrah in the MCU, which is kind of sad, but I think he's dead. Moving on. Number 6. I think Wanda will be seen as the villain at the end of the show. Now let me explain that one, because that one I don't want to write an entire paragraph, because that theory could be a paragraph on its own, but I don't want to do a paragraph right now. So we're just going to end it with this. So Wanda will be seen as a villain at the end of the show. Here's why I put that in a quotations, which I should probably add there. Quotations. There we go. We're seen as the villain of the show at the end. And I think I kind of brushed on it last week's video where I said that I think, okay, I'll explain in detail here. My theory so far is that Wanda is gonna be, she's gonna realize what Agatha is doing, because Agatha's gonna she's just going to blurt out her entire plan to Wanda. Wanda's gonna get pissed. She's gonna try to fight her off, but the sword people start coming in, and she needs to fight them off so that she can fight off Agatha. Agatha starts doing crap, making her look even worse, and then the sword director dude is gonna do something again, as I said, really, really fucking stupid, which pisses Wanda off or makes Wanda do something recklessly and hurts the sword, I don't know, team or whatever. It's gonna be hell for Wanda, because now she has to fight off Agatha as she's fighting off Sword, while trying to prevent Sword from getting seriously injured, but she still has to put them at a halt. She needs them to stop coming in so she can take care of Agatha, and Agatha isn't just gonna sit by, and she's gonna make Agatha, at least, is gonna make damn sure that Wanda looks like the bad guy here, while remaining hidden so that all the responsibility lands on Wanda. Therefore, by the end of the series, Wanda will be seen as the villain, and in reality, it's just Wanda trying to stop Agatha. Kind of in the same vein of Captain America and Civil War, where Captain America was seen as the bad guy, where because he was trying to stop Zemo, and in that kind of sense. If that helps you wrap your brain around what I just said, there you go. Like, shit! I just realized something. Huh? That's funny. There we go. Now you can see what I'm fighting. Okay, and I think that's right now the theories that I have so far for episode 8 and 9. We'll see by the end of episode 8 if any of these theories are actually, butchered or massacred, laid out to be hanged, whatever. I don't know. WandaVision, every single episode does something that I just did not expect, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Oh, I guess one more theory before we go. Pietro? Is that how you spell his name? Pietro? I don't fucking know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Or just fucking put this. Quicksilver. It's just simpler. Quicksilver is a nobody. Yeah, I think Pietro is a nobody. I don't think he's anybody from the Fox universe. I don't think he's some Agatha's son, as some people are saying. I don't think he's some manifestation of Mephisto, Nightmare, whatever. I think he's just a nobody that Agatha needed to play the role of Pietro, and that's what we saw her doing with her hands. It wasn't her conjuring up Pietro, it's giving that person the memories of Pietro, at least enough memories to fool Wanda. Not for long, but for enough. You get what I mean? So there you go, guys. Those were my theories so far. Tell me in the comments below if you agree with these theories, or you have a few theories of your own that you would like to recommend, and maybe you can convince me to, add it to the list. But there you go, guys. Those are my theories so far for episode 8 and 9. Hopefully, I'm not completely wrong. I think I'm very confident in these theories. I think that they're going to be very sound. And I actually believe, out of the 7 theories I have here, I think I'm going to be 80 to 90% correct. I don't know the math of how that works. That's why I was kind of going back and forth. I don't know if having just one wrong automatically takes me lower than 90%. So that's why I added 80 there. But whatever. It's just any math geeks, tell me in the comments below if just having one wrong is enough to lower me less than 90%. So maybe. I don't know the math. But thank you for coming to Lobbies for Hobbies. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, do the diddly do. Maybe check me out on Twitch. We're having a blast on Twitch, really. It's been a lot of fun on Twitch. Or, just continue watching my videos on YouTube. I think that this is also pretty fun. I'm trying to be more, elevate the content on my channel so it has more me in it, I guess. And I don't know what the fuck I'm saying at this point. But that's it for now, and I'll see you next time you check in at the lobby. Peace.